Rob Boswell, Unruly Simeon, Gore Vidal, Captain Comics. You guys know what time it is.
It's Clobberin time!
We were all high-fiving because the timing was just right on that. And we look, only one of you dudes is still here, or whichever is here. Thanks for hanging with us, and hopefully the rest will be back around. Hey, we've got Al Shell here with us as always. Coach Vic, Al Shell, how you guys doing this morning?
Hey, what's up, big dog? Hey, big dog, what's going on? Yeah, you're for the Super Smash Down, brother. Yeah. Go ahead.
I don't get it.
I'm doing good.
Thought I'd spice up and change my voice a bit. Yeah, big dog. Hey, what you doing to the Subway Smash, huh? Go to the Subway. Let's go get some Subway today, huh?
I read books to my girls every night before bed, and every once in a while I aggravate them because I hate it when I do that. But I'll pick a different voice, some cartoon voice or something, to read the book, and they just scream. Okay, show's over. See you. Thanks for coming.
So,
your kids
what do
find you
voices
creepy?
sound like?
I don't know. I can't do it.
So your kids find you creepy? Is that what you're saying?
What's that?
Your kids find you creepy?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it just proves that I'm dad, and I'm not cool.
Of course, I got something a little worse, and I can say this because my wife's not watching this show, but she has different voices for her animals, for her pets, like all of them.
Each one's got a distinctive voice.
Yes.
Creative.
And every now and then,
I
like
give her
the
credit.
cat that died like 3 years ago has something to say.
Now that's scary.
Okay, so let's get caught up on some comments from the early birds here. Most comic to movie adaptations are actors in cosplay acting the part instead of becoming the character due to generic scripts, make it impossible for me to get lost in the fantasy. And then Unruly comes back with the gore with a takedown. What about non-superhero flicks? Sin City and Road to Perdition. We'll get into all that and more as we go.
Road to Perdition is a comic book movie?
We're just talking about Marvel, bro. I'm not talking about all that other stuff.
And I know you ain't talking about Black Panther.
Black Panther is eligible. We'll go through the guidelines of how we're going to qualify as the within the context of our discussion today.
It's got to be Iron Man 1 on because it can't be anything earlier because I ain't going to bust on Blade and all that junk.
We'll get into it. Before we do, I want to do a little promotion here for my man Al Shell and his TeePublic page.
TeePublic.
Right. Hey, look at that. They're up.
How's that looking? A little bit better.
Look at all those beautiful shirts. Still got
What's adult apparel?
Adult apparel?
Yeah.
So check out Al's page for this cool retro cartoon t-shirts. Grab a sticker, grab a coffee mug.
I'd prefer shirts.
Even get a mask, even though we don't need them anymore.
Well, there you go.
The kind of stuff you will find on Al's page is the stuff that you want that you can't get at Hot Topic.
They ripped me off.
Different takes, the odd character that you remember that no one else does.
Go back up to the top of that, would you? There should be. Yeah, go. See how it says newest to popular?
Newest
Click on popular. Sort by.
Click on popular.
Yeah, let's see what's popular.
All right.
What's popping?
Yeah, what's popping there? Okay, we got regular show, the Wonder Twins. We got the Matrix. We got Legion of Doom, Darth Vader head. Yeah, look at that. See, you can see what's new and what's popular.
So
it's pretty
what's
cool.
the matrix of leadership? I don't get.
What?
I don't get it.
My screen. You don't know what the matrix of leadership is?
You tell me, I'll probably remember it. But
It's Transformers, man.
oh yeah,
Gee, was.
I watched the Transformers stuff, but it didn't
Man.
stick.
You're just old.
It's not something that
I just know that
Mighty
robots in
Mouse.
disguise, and they're
I
more
can't
than
believe
CGI.
you. I can't believe you. Don't know the blink. Man, you didn't cry when Optimus Prime died. You better get off the set. Get off the set.
guilty. Love the blueberry. It makes me hungry for some cereal.
Yeah, I got all of them. I got all those guys. I even got the Smurfs. The Smurfs are cool.
Count Chocula. Got the Brown Hornet and his crew.
The Brown Hornet.
Got Rom. Also, keep an eye out for the Rom Selleck variant on that one.
That's not as popular, obviously. It would be up there.
Jabberjaw.
Look at that, Dr. Doom. Cool stuff. And love the Kenner, the old Kenner logo.
Neon Kenner.
Very
all
cool.
right, we've done
Well, I do have a question, though.
What's that?
Who was the California Surfer guy?
That was a cartoon called Superhero High or something like that. What was that called? It was in the
Sounds familiar, but I don't remember.
80s. It was with the Shazam Power Hour. They were a high school. They were in it was like a high school for superheroes. And,
Nice, like Sky High.
Yeah, they ripped that off of Sky High ripped them off. Thank you for pointing that out. And then it was an old Filmation cartoon, so it was pretty fun. I mean, it's boring as heck to watch, but it had some fun, stupid characters in it.
Cool.
Anyways,
we're all excited to get to our topic, but before we do, let's talk about recent pickups. And I don't have a ton, but Al, I know you said you'd picked up some cool stuff. You want to show a couple before we get rolling?
Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna do toys. You were talking about your specs. You had your specs books. Well, I got a spec toy. Okay?
All right.
I got it. My nephew has been I gotta find the new Big Van Vader Legend series Mattel figure, and he has been looking for it. I don't know if it's gonna catch on. I don't know if people are gonna be fighting a Target for it, like Pokemon cards. I don't know, but I was at my local Target, and I found two, like in a different area, because obviously someone was like, "I'm gonna buy both of these."
Mm-hmm.
And then shoved them somewhere. But I found them. And when you go back to Target and you can't find them, it was me. I'm the one that grabbed your hidden toys. I hid your hidden toys. Anyways, so I picked up the Vader. I got both of them, but I'm going to give the other one to my nephew because he wanted them. Thank you. I don't need to be in this.
There you go.
See that? He comes with his Vader time, brother. Look at that. It's the early. They even has without mask, and I guess you can put that in.
That's the guy from Boy Meets World, right?
Yeah, that's Vader. Gee whiz. And then I picked up a whole bunch of these because I love that they're making Hot Wheels of the old He-Man figure vehicles. So this is the Battle Ram. That's also the Sky Sled because that comes out. I found I went to mini Targets and I just bought all of them because I'm becoming a
hoarder,
a bad person. Anyway, and then I found, let's see, remember Cyclone? Well, you wouldn't know this because you never watched Transformers because you're so old.
I did watch them.
Anyway, so this is Cyclonus from the. This isn't from the movie. This is from the new cartoon on Netflix. It's pretty cool, actually. Pretty cool. Very violent though. So anyway, I just picked that. This is another spec toy because I didn't see this anywhere, and I know they were selling. Earlier, there was a Target exclusive or something for one of the like Starscream guys that were just Starscream but with like a different color.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a spec toy, so I spec on this because I haven't seen this guy anywhere else except for that one time. But I mean, he could be everywhere now. I don't know, but there's another spec toy. And talking about people fighting for toys and stuff, let me tell you, we had to get this from the back because they're locking stuff like this up. They don't want people buying all of them.
Wow.
Okay, it was
Right.
weird. So I picked up this, a Rogue, and Deadpool, the Blacklight guys, because I missed out on the last Blacklight series, and I'm not missing out on this series. It's pretty cool looking.
You know, my question has always been, why do stores care? Their job is to sell stuff.
Hey, they don't want if you like you're gonna see a little kid crying because he didn't get his Blacklight Gambit. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, his parents should have got in there on time.
Oh, hey, no, people scout like those hoarders, man. And then I picked this up because I liked it.
Cool.
It was the Joker Nightwing. And I'm not a big Nightwing guy because I think he's kind of redundant. I know that's gonna make everybody mad. But the thing is he has a regular. I was like, is this a mess up? Because he's got the regular Robin head box, and then he's got the Joker head. That's the best he's ever looked, I think. Right there.
That's pretty cool. I haven't kept up enough with those comics to know if Nightwing did appear Jokerized like that at some point.
Yeah. One thing I don't like about the McFarlane toys is they're so Batman centric. And if you get a Flash or a Green Lantern, they're horrible. Their figures, they're just they're awkward because they make them too dark, and I don't like those guys dark.
Gotcha.
Anyways, so I picked up another Funko soda, and I got the Beetlejuice, but I also got the variant because I'm the Chase magnet. I'm the Chase. Look, it's two different bodies though. Okay, they're same heads, but like he's holding a finger that has the ring.
He's giving the finger.
He's holding the finger.
Oh.
He's holding the finger. I said that. Anyway, so I got them, and then I got to end it all. I got
two Ollies almost got in a fight over bagged comics, each claiming it was theirs. The manager, whose husband is a comic reader, didn't recognize the local idiots.
Wait a second. Ollie's has comics?
Yeah.
We just got an Ollie's.
I got a Roger Rabbit and a werewolf.
Right when they restock.
Yeah, they're like a flea market place. They get like leftover stuff. They don't really.
We went in after Christmas and it was a wreck, and I have a feeling it's always a wreck.
You probably can't see it, but I got.
What is that?
The poster. Japanese Spider-Man poster.
Very cool.
There you go. Look, checking it out.
Nice.
Then I got I'm putting up stickers. That's what I do. I stick up, and I'm going to cover this whole thing with stickers, and then it's mine.
Nice.
I got that one from Eli Wolf off of Instagram. Go check him out. He's got cool stickers. Oh, and Kiss.
Ollie's got tons of graphic novels. But a lot of them are. They say they're overstock, but Ollie's does make deals with publishers to have them print comics.
Well, you know that
regardless of what they would have you think.
Trade paperback in the convention scene, you could pay so many for a pallet of graphic novels and then sell them for. That's if you ever been to a convention where they're selling them like buy 5 or 2 or something.
Right.
That's because they bought an S load of pallets and.
Yep.
Me and Terry did that once, and we ended up with a bunch of Latin X-Men and Latin Ultimate Fantastic Four, and we were like, I was like reading, I want to read this one, then I was just like, I don't understand any of this. And the top bat on it was drawn by Greg Land, so it was really horrible.
So the one thing I picked up that I want to show is okay. This was a pure spec buy. It wasn't FOMO because I didn't feel like I was missing anything, but I did a stupid thing. I read an article, and the article said,
was the one that I sent you?
No, it said this book is hot, people are buying it up, and the prices are going up. And I'd never heard of it. I'd never seen anybody on YouTube mention it. I haven't seen it posted much on IG. I saw a couple, but it's this book called Ultra Mega.
Oh, I picked those up. Okay. I got 1 and 2 of that. That's the artist. That's the Dead Earth, Wonder Woman Dead Earth artist.
Is it James Herron? I knew the name, but I didn't realize he was the one that did the Dead Earth.
Yeah, dude. Like that art is just dirty. It's just dirty art. But go ahead.
Apit's bin Sanin. Thanks for joining us.
He's also doing this. He's also doing Better Ray Bill.
I had known the name James Heron from like way back when we were doing stuff on Deviant Art. I was following him like way back when.
Yeah.
But so if I were to describe this, you would think
Darryl Warren Johnson. I thought they were the same guy. Never mind.
you if I were to describe this, you would think, okay, I get it. I don't need to read it. But this is one of those books that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. If I were to describe it to you, what it's about, you'd be like, okay, I've seen it all before. But when they put it all together in this package, and it's a big 48 page square bound book, it is kind of hard to find in high grades. So, and when I spec'd hard and bought 2 copies from an eBay dealer.
Ooh.
This one will be a 9.8. Whether I'd actually grade it or not someday.
Was that a special cover or something?
No, this is a cover A, and there are a couple variants out there.
I don't know which ones I bought. I just bought it off the shelf, so it must be B or C or D.
Could be.
I just got them to look at. I didn't buy them to sell them to chumps on the street.
But if you're into horror, if you're into manga or Japanese influenced books, if you're into kaiju,
Yeah, I call it Dirty Ultraman.
Yep, that's a good way to simplify it. Yep.
Who's Ultraman?
Ultraman's
Get out of here. I'm tired of this. Get out of here.
The live action Japanese show where the guy was a superhero.
Hey,
He grew up a giant.
Yeah,
You
I
guys
remember
aren't
Ready
invited
Player
to my
One.
show anymore. You don't know who Optimus Prime is. You don't know who Ultraman is. You guys on the wrong set, buddies. You guys need to go read up on some kid stuff.
Well, you don't know who. Yeah, I have no clue who you don't know. The Super Globetrotters are.
Who?
Charlie Neal,
No, the Super Globetrotters.
Metal Locker.
Oh, the Super Globe. I know that. I used to watch the cartoons. Hanna-Barbera, Curly, and all those guys.
They were always on Scooby Doo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had their own cartoon.
Yeah, I know.
Optimus who? Hey, you already put that up. Don't give me that.
No, he said that again. Just, all right.
Optimus Jankowitz. That's his name. That's his,
All
that
right.
was his Prime was his stage name. Jankowitz was his real name. Yeah, I'm down with Optimus Jankowitz.
All right. Marvel movie misses. That's kind of how that's the topic that Al threw out. And I think I didn't want to make this the Marvel movie fails because something makes millions or billions of dollars ain't failing. They're doing all right. So, but we're going to talk about the ways in which the Marvel cinematic movies have missed the mark from our expectations of what we saw in the comics versus how they translated it into the movies.
Our opinion, because that doesn't matter.
Gore, that's why I have him on.
Fun winding me up, you guys. Ooh. Don't make me come in there. Don't make me come in there.
So since my opinion is going to be the most boring one, I'm going to go first, and then we'll go Victor, and then we'll go Al.
Trust me, mine will be more boring than because I have no clue.
That's why it's interesting.
You never watched the shows besides Kevin.
I enjoyed the movies.
Go ahead.
The parameters we set were Marvel Cinematic movies, anything produced by Kevin Feige.
Wait a minute, not even Spider-Man movies? Was he What? Didn't he produce the X-Men movies?
He was like an associate producer or something. He had some input, but I'm talking where he's the guy in charge. So
not the Spider-Man movies.
He was producer on the Spider-Man movies, even though they were for distributed by Sony, so we can count them. I got no problem. All right, so my number, we're each going to do 3, and we'll go around the horn. My number 3 biggest miss in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is the fact that everything is connected. Like you can't just watch one movie and understand what's going on. You can't just watch Ant-Man and understand what's going on in Ant-Man because he's got so much stuff, other stuff tying into his movie from all the other movies.
Does he really? He doesn't.
Ant-Man was a bad example.
Horrible.
If you watch Avengers Endgame, I should have picked Endgame. If you watch Avengers Endgame,
did you just throw this one together? Did you just last minute slapdash your list?
You know I'm not going to put that much thought into this.
Oh, that's great. Whoa, Archie, you're sending me notes. Like, you better not say this. You better not say this.
And not
to get a sponsor from Gore Vidal. You better not say anything bad about him.
Well, Unruly says that's an unpopular opinion, and it's right. See,
no, he said he'll say it's the strength.
Right, the interconnectivity would be the strength. Here's what I have to deal with.
Take that.
If I sit down to watch an Avengers movie and my wife's in the room,
she's not gonna get it anyway. Wait a minute. You gotta take your wife on it. She asks what the heck's going on, and they just explain the whole plot to you. She'd be like, "Oh, what's happening? I don't understand." Like,
no, talk about your wife like that.
She could watch Iron Man. She could watch Iron Man 1. She could even watch Iron Man 2. She could watch Thor 3.
I went to a movie with you guys.
She would know what's going on.
It was like the guy comes out, "Hey, I'm Batman," and then she'll be like, "Who's that guy? Who's that?" What, why is he wearing that suit? Sorry, man. I've been there.
I totally agree with that opinion, Gore.
Not to keep beating the same drum over and over again, but Black Panther didn't have anything to do with the rest of the movies, basically.
That's true.
Wait, we're still talking about his.
Are you going to be able to watch the Black Panther sequel without having watched Black Panther 1?
Well,
of course not, because they killed off T'Challa.
Now I can see. Now listen, Jamie.
Can we do a movie involving Black Panther?
When it comes to movies like Black Panther, he was so in the Civil War, you wouldn't have been able to do Black Panther without Civil War. I understand that, but they got it all planned out. I think it adds some flavor.
Let's go.
They add some flavor to each comic book movie. I think some of the movies were hurt because they didn't have that early connectivity in it. Like some Thor movies, it's just like, man, I wish I would have seen some other superheroes in this besides walking around with Jane Foster. Fine. What's that name? The girl that was on WandaVision, like, I didn't like her in the movies, like the Thor movies. So I think early on they needed more of it. But I think personally, I like that they pulled it off. I think they pulled it off. And if you are a stranger to this, you can go watch these movies and then not even notice them. It's like an old Bugs Bunny cartoon when they're doing adult jokes, but they're aiming for kids. You're gonna be able to watch it, and then the nerd in you is gonna be, "Oh, he just mentioned the Baxter Building. Oh my goodness, it's Fantastic Four. Oh boy."
But I will say, was there like 20 movies, something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
There's probably about 6 to 8 of them you can skip if you're going to watch them all and not miss a beat.
Like most of the Iron Man movies.
I want to move on because I want everyone to have equal time. But the problem I see happening is if they keep going this way, it's going to get to the point that a new person walking into the movies is not going to get it, and they're going to walk away. I think after Endgame, it was a good place for them to reset, and I hope they do, because we haven't really seen any of the movies coming up after that where they kind of make the movies a little bit less interconnected, let each movie tell its own story, drop Easter eggs here and there, sure, with everything else, and then build back up to another big thing again.
If I can repeat that, Doctor Strange was kind of its own movie. And the only thing they added in was at the end when Thor came and seen Doctor Strange when he had his dishwashing gloves on.
Right.
Like, hello, I'm Doctor Strange. And Captain Marvel, that was in the 90s. That was introduced in a bland character, but still, she was on her own, except for Nick Fury. I mean, but that was just how they took it. So Ant-Man really was a standalone.
Yes.
So
you're
You like how he fits like 18 points in with 1 point?
That kind of was a weird. That was why it was number 3. I understand. That's number 3.
All right, Victor.
All right. See, once again, I'm clueless. But my thing is, because, I like watching a lot of TV. Is Agent Coulson important or is he not important?
No. He's dead in the movies, isn't he?
Does he?
Yeah.
But he comes back to life.
The Shield TV show is not canon. It's not. Harry went on there and they moved it to the Legends, Marvel Legends. It's not canon. Anything that was on the TV show ain't anything. It's butkus, man. See you later.
Yeah, you see, but people we don't know that.
Well, don't watch the Agent of Shields. Agent of Shields is done. It's Agent of Shields is like the CW for Marvel. It doesn't matter, and it's horrible writing and horrible acting.
Suited for TV.
Hey, the first 2 or 3 seasons was really good. Yeah, but they were going to be bringing those people into the canon now.
He died, right? In Avengers 1, he died.
Yeah, but then they took him to Tahiti.
Yeah, he's dead.
Oh, well.
That's alternate timeline. Hey, he might show up in the Multiverse of Madness. I could see that. But that's an alternate timeline.
Okay.
So sorry. So that's your complaint. It's not much of a complaint. It was more of a question.
Well, you always say they should have gave Terrence Howard his money. Is not hired and kept him as Don Cheadle.
I don't know, man. There are probably a couple other people would have been.
I think he's got more gravitas than Don Cheadle does.
Yeah. He's a smoother cat too.
Because I still think it's funny when you read the story. Not funny, but he got Robert Downey Jr. the gig, and apparently Robert Downey Jr. took his money.
That's right. That's what it does. Gray man. Okay. Hey, so is it my turn?
Your turn.
Yes.
All right. Well, since I got so many, I got 4, but I got what's the order I want to do? I'm going to start out weak, and I'm just going to say theme songs. The theme songs are so generic and so basic. Not until later did they get their own beats. But you can't tell me that what's Iron Man's theme? What's Captain America's? Captain America gets one now, but I'm just saying, like, out of the gate, the only one you'll remember is probably the Avengers. And maybe now you have, like, Black Panthers or something.
No, I think Iron Man had one. I mean, I couldn't hum it to you, but I remember it being one.
Hey, you know what I can hum? Dun, 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 dun,
Is my dad calling? That's his ringtone. Give me Batman, give me Superman. They had that. This is the problem, not only for Marvel, but for all of movies nowadays. DC, but I'm not going to mention them. But Marvel, I'm looking at you. You're stepping your game up, but you're still weak on it. That's just like dudes need theme songs. They need some theme songs that we can listen to and just be like, hey, that don't count. Okay. Black Sabbath don't count. That's that's like AEW now. They're just like, hey, instead of writing good songs for these guys, we're just gonna we're just gonna pay for the Pixies and stuff. Well, that's what Black Panther did. They just put together a banging soundtrack. But I'm with you.
I'm talking theme songs. I'm not talking about.
They should have spent the money, hired somebody like John B. Williams, say, look, you're in charge for the music for all these movies. Get it done.
Well, they want their own flavor. I don't want it all to, like, hey. Well, I'm just saying.
He's done the music for, though.
If we're using wrestling as an analogy, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm wearing a wrestling shirt.
R.I.P. Brody Lee. R.I.P. New Jack too. He just passed away yesterday, which is sad. But anyways, wrestlers, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, okay? The Rock. If you smell the Rock, it's good. None of these superheroes, none of them have a theme song besides Superman and 89 Batman that you're going to be like, oh, here they come. Oh, here comes Iron Man. Well, they'll play, an AC/DC song.
Mhm.
That's it. Captain America, you're just like, who's this dude? Oh, it's Cap. Let's get excited. So my number 3, you guys have weak sauce going on those theme songs, and you can't prove it wrong because I'm right.
He actually has really good takes, doesn't he?
Who's this guy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See why I have him on the show.
Right. I told you we could skip mine.
All right. So my number 2.
But I agree with that wholeheartedly.
My number 2 biggest Marvel miss is Captain America: First Avenger. The second half of the movie. We got the montage. We got Hydra was like driving around in the Cobra, Cobra tanks that we saw in G.I. Joe. It was too short. They didn't show any of Cap's real adventures in World War II.
Right.
And I think that's, some prime real estate for some good flashback action, or, just tell us some tales from when Cap was back in World War II, through the entirety of the war, rather than just kind of that, distilled down mess we got.
Right.
I could talk about pacing in a lot of these movies, but I think pacing was pretty bad in that movie too, where they could have, I don't know. It just seems like they could have mixed it up a little bit better.
Well, I'll agree with you because I did want more. I did want more of them. I could have showed more. That would have been cool if they, during the cameo or the montages, throw in a Baron Zemo. Throw in Baron Blood or something like that. Just like, in the back and he's beating him up. That would have went a long way. But however, I'll say that it was because of what they did with it. Like later on in the movies, like bringing Bucky back and all that stuff and doing Winter Soldier, it had a great payoff. The beginning might have been like, wait a minute, they should have done this. But where we've gone with it, how they've utilized that, I can't hate it. I think actually Winter Soldier, next to Winter Soldier, I think First Avenger is probably my favorite of the Cap movies. So I mean, what do you want? They're trying to speed through it. They weren't as this is when Marvel was early, so they're not going to give them a 3-4 hour Avengers Endgame movie. They're going to have to, and you got to also think you're using old school. Like Joe Johnston, right? That's his name, the guy that directed that. You're using him, so it was just early. I don't think that they expected Captain America to make money for him. I think they were just like, oh, let's get in. Yeah, early on, man. They weren't like,
okay, so
Cap was the Superman. He was the hurdle they had to get over.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that they put enough into the Cap-Bucky relationship in that movie for us that if we didn't know what Bucky was going to become as Winter Soldier later, that there was enough there to make us really care that Bucky died in that movie?
No, that's what I'm saying. What it becomes. That's why I said what it becomes pays it off. Like it was a long story. It's like wrestling. Sorry, more wrestling thing. People will be like recently, two tag team partners that have been together, they had to break up after losing a match. Okay. They immediately cut to the back and were filming something else. And people were like, what's going on here? Why not show their big moment? What I'm saying is going to happen is that they're going to have the one guy that's probably going to still wrestle is going to be angry with the Federation organization and be like, "What you do that? That's when I'm going to beat up your pretty boys or something." And it's gonna form him into a bigger heel or whatever. So if you look at what they did with Avengers, First Avengers, they're like, we got all this stuff to do, and we don't know if Captain America is going to make money. but we got to put him in that stupid suit in Avengers, first Avengers, and we got to get him there. So let's, do that. But what has come afterwards, it makes the cake even taste better. That's like you had the steak, okay? So the first Avengers is the steak. Then all the rest of the stuff, here's your baked potato, here's your dressing, here's your salad, boom, 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 boom. You get that on there, you got it all. So I'll give you that the first Avenger wasn't the cream of the crop, but it was the steak, it was the meat, and now you got all the trimmings, and you got a dessert coming in Avengers movies. So you just got to take the first course. It might be a little dry, but you're gonna get it coming in later. You know what I mean? Boo! Take that, moo.
Gorm, this kind of plays into some of the reasons with my first complaint there, that it does force everyone to go see these movies. But see between the three of us, and I know, did you see all of them in the theater?
Yeah.
Al, did you see
Did I see a lot of them with you?
Yeah,
many? Not all of them.
I've seen all of them in the theater. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've not.
Because you had kids, man.
I skipped.
You got responsibilities.
I skipped.
Yeah,
Captain Marvel.
I don't have a life, so I can go do that.
Let's skip Captain Marvel.
To point out several
Lucky
times
guy.
that I don't have a wife or kids. Thank you, Coach Vic.
I don't know if I would have liked Captain Marvel better as a movie if I had been in the audience or not. But watching it at home is boring. And I made a point not to sit here and bash on that movie all morning. But
I could have done a whole misses just on Captain Marvel, man. I think Captain Marvel is the biggest miss that happened. Anyways,
so looking forward though, are there movies that they've announced they're doing that we feel like we don't have to rush right out and see it as soon as it's available?
No, because I've been sitting at home too long, so I'm gonna go out. That's what's gonna happen. Like I want to go and sit in with some stinky people, other than my family.
I have like $100 worth of movie gift certificates.
Yeah, man, I'm ready to go, baby. We're gonna see that big stuff. They don't have a bunch. They don't have a million people, little kids, on their computer making big giant Galacticus on a screen for you to see it on your tiny your phone. They want you to go to this big old, oh my God, it's gonna kill me theater. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay, but if COVID hadn't happened, were we all like clamoring like
Black Widow?
No, I wasn't clamoring for it. Maybe
were you clamoring?
Ooh, theory. Marvel wanted you to go see these new sets, so they spread the pandemic. Marvel is the reason for the pandemic because they knew you wouldn't go see Black Widow, man. That's it. I take that, man. I blame Marvel for the pandemic. He's looking for it, but he can't find it.
Like I can't because it doesn't show up. There it is.
Whammy!
It shows up as a white preview.
I wish our show was more popular so that would spread. Like people would be like, "Oh my God, Clobberin time guys says that Marvel started the pandemic."
Or you can say
So
Zack Snyder did, so they can make that a long movie.
But they are profiter. They are pandemic profiteers because that WandaVision, and all that.
No one was like writing letters for a Black Widow movie.
Yeah, they were.
No one was like the prices on Eternals have not spiked because the movie's coming.
Wait. You don't think that people wanted a Black Widow movie? There was so many. If there was so many people going, when are we getting a Black Widow movie? Because she didn't.
Oh, wait a second. That's ScarJo, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I have to for the work I do. I have to do like opinion polling, right? Where it's like, hey, should we do this product? But I have to do it in such a way that I get like a real feeling for, okay, do they want this or do they want something else? If you say,
you can give it this.
Hey, Al, do you want this Ultra Mega comic? And I will say, yeah, if you're giving that to me, I'll take it. But if I said, Al, do you want this New Gods #1 comic? You're going to be hungrier for the New Gods than you are for this.
That's brand name. Hey, listen, did you want an Ant-Man movie?
No.
There you go. And what'd you get? You got Ant-Man, and now you're like, oh,
I
I
got
kind
two
of
Ant-Man movies, and one was good and one wasn't.
Both of them are my wife's favorite movies in the whole series.
I also didn't go see Ant-Man 2 at the theater.
Well, listen.
Oh no,
Coach
I didn't
Vic,
either.
Coach Vic just answered your question. Those are my wife's favorite movies out of the whole thing. Sorry, Jamie. Someone liked them, so they're not for you. Don't worry about it. Bye-bye.
That would be really cool,
You're
Gordon.
basic.
Good
Listen,
to
I
see
learned a
you,
long
Biggie
time
Shaq.
ago.
Biggie.
Learned a long time ago that not everything's for me. And hey, I might not like the look of the new. I might not like the new story details of the new Masters of the Universe show. It's obviously going to be Ben on Tila. It's going to be all about Tila running around doing her stuff. It's not for me.
Hey, so if I skip out on Shang-Chi, which I'm totally not excited about,
Hmm.
and then I go see the movie that all these movies lead into, what am I going to be missing? Are they going to be able to tell me what, the story beats that were in Shang-Chi that are integral to the overall storyline?
And the sad thing is, I wouldn't know enough to tell you.
Anyway, moving on, because that was going back to my other.
Well, I think Shang-Chi is going to be a different side. Just like there's going to be like, hey man, that's your problem. Really?
Hey, when you talk about they didn't make
I'm
the
not
movie,
a big Shang-Chi fan.
yeah,
I don't really care. My one buddy was, but I'm still going to check it out because you know what? I like me some Kung Fu.
okay. The Kung Fu part is going to be fun. When you say they didn't make this movie for me, they did not make Shang-Chi for the American audience. They made it for the Chinese audience.
Hmm.
Because when you look at what they're making globally off these movies,
Yeah, you say that. I know, I understand that, but it probably won't do that well. It might not even get in over there. But I'm telling you,
They are struggling with that.
don't be hating on people that like some John Wick, frickin' bust out the old Bruce Lee, the old Jackie Chan movies. Don't be looking past that, okay? Because that's a whole new genre. They got different genres. And this is their kung fu movie genre. That's all it is.
I'm not saying that their effort or what they're trying to do is off target. I'm fine with the John Wick,
You're just
the
worried
Ray
that
movies.
if you don't see it, then you won't know what's going on in Avengers.
They can make in my mind, I'd love to see like superhero movies, made with, if you put a Marvel character in the place of John Wick, or you put Daredevil in the Raid, it all works. But when I see the previews for Shang-Chi and think in my head, okay, I remember the awesome Paul Gulacy Shang-Chi covers, and I'm not seeing what's in my mind's eye in the preview.
Well, again, listen, there's food that I would never want to eat, okay? But then someone like my girlfriend would go, let's try this. And I eat it. And then I'm like, oh, that's great. Or, oh, this is garbage. That's what you got to do. That's up to you, man. That's everybody's personal journey they're going to go through. And they're going to be either I want to eat this, even though it looks like dog food, or I'm not going to eat this. Or I'm going to love it, or I'm going to hate it. So there you go. That's all I can say to everybody. No one's going to strap you and take you to the movies and make you watch it. All right? And if you don't get something, it's called Google. All right? Google it and be like, oh, that's what that meant. And then maybe here's a good thing, Jamie. Here's another refute to your story. Like, oh, it's all, you can't understand this stuff. Maybe it'll make somebody go, what's the Baxter Building? Well, look it up. Oh, who's this Fantastic Four? Oh, I kind of like this rock dude. Let's check this out. And it might get them to check other stuff out. So even though you're afraid to stick your toe in the water, it might be relaxing. Okay, you might de-stress. Okay, you might start popping and locking and stuff, or you might get your foot bit off. Who knows? That's the greatness about life. It's that free will, baby, to go out there and get ran over by a car or jump over it because you got superpowers all of a sudden. I don't know. Take that.
Follow up on Gore's point here. Get Mel Gibson to do the adaptation of the Wonder Woman. What's the name of the book? Huh?
Oh, he's
What's
talking
your
about
Wonder
those
Woman
two.
book you like?
Oh, Last Dead Earth or whatever.
Yeah, Dead Earth.
Yeah. Well, it had no humor anyways.
That's the point. All
He's
right.
talking about the Ragnarok, Thor Ragnarok. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Well, we gotta go.
Let's keep moving. All right.
What's going?
This is going to be simple and short because, well, I'm a simple and short kind of dude. Well, okay, I'm 6'1", but all right. Sure, we have Don Cheadle, Terrence Howard, and Nick Fury, but that's it. Can we get some brothers in the movies? I know there's no source material. I know you got to stick with what you got. They could have invented somebody, created
Wait,
somebody.
you didn't even mention Black Panther.
It's because it took 18 movies for Black Panther to show up. And then he ruined the release of the Endgame because he kept making money. It took
You can't like. That's almost like my theme song complaint because they're starting to get good theme songs. You gotta build that stuff up before you just like, here's Black Panther.
Now, see, I will say this one thing, and I know I'm not supposed to say this, but Kevin Feige is in charge, right? He's the head man in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't he have brought it? I mean, if they're going to be fighting in New York, why can't you bring in Luke and Danny and Jessica?
Listen. Well, you're spreading it off now, Luke and Danny. You're spreading it off over here. Well, you going to talk about the Netflix shows, or are you going to talk about no representation in the?
Look, you said
what you're talking about.
We'd have to like.
Where else you going to find?
We have to check the historical record because I don't know that Marvel Studios had the rights to Luke Cage at the time.
Okay. What I'm going to say is if you're going to do something like Black Panther, you got to prepare white people, okay? You got to prepare white people. You can't just spring on Black Panther on it like, hey, I got to go get my coffee in the morning. Oh, my goodness.
Okay, so Unruly's point here is...
We had one?
Yeah.
You can't spring all at once.
He was there from the beginning.
We had one in every movie.
And you know, another thing, it's building expectations, okay? You're gonna want it's like where the brothers at? Where's going on here? We got Nick Fury, we got War Machine, boom, and then when you do bring the Black Panther, it's the smoothest stuff you've ever seen. It's so the music, everything, it's done to perfection. They were cooking that stew, man. That's what they were getting that stew cooked. They were cooking that. They were like, oh no, wait, let's put some of this in there. And put some. Okay, yeah, they're gonna love this. They're gonna love this. Let them have their Thor. Yeah, Thor with the boring ass movies and all that stuff. We got like we're waiting on this. They had to get that just right because you can't just throw. Sorry, Luke Cage was boring. You can't just throw. Something that's important. That's important. Now, this is important. Black Panther was a very historical, important movie.
Yes.
You can't just go, no, here, whatever. Because if you do it all the time, it's like Incredibles. If everybody's special, nobody's special. So there you go.
How many white superhero movies we got? They do that all the time.
They're not special. They're boring. Most of them are boring. You got to represent a culture. That's such an important thing. You can't just go, especially, and here's another thing. Old movies would have done that, and you've been like, they don't age well, okay? This movie had to age well. You got to be able to find stuff in this movie later. Like, they would have had some crazy stuff. They would have had white dudes in blackface being superheroes back in the day, okay? You don't want that. We have a new, sensitive style, okay? So that's all I'm going to say.
Or if you like read New Gods.
You had to cultivate. You had to cultivate Black Panther. So, yeah, I'm sorry.
Here's his replacement casting. Jackie
Chan.
Nick Fury.
See, then we had nobody. Jackie Chan.
They could have brought in Bill Foster, right? For like Ant-Man. They could have had him be that. They could have just mixed that together. Yeah. We just call him Ant-Man.
Or Goliath.
Because he would have been tall then, right? How about Tiny Goliath? You could get a tiny Zeus Lester to be Tiny Goliath. There you go.
How could Black Panther is just Panther?
when Burton's Batman film came out, I wanted
Just
Arkham
black?
Asylum, directed by Ridley Scott, using the cinematography and set design from Blade Runner and Black Crane, with a script by Paul
Yeah.
Schrader.
Everybody wanted that, sure, and then it would have bombed. No, it probably would have been.
So, Gore, I'd be interested to see your opinion on the Joker movie then, because that
would have been
everybody
like,
compares
oh
the
my
Joker
goodness.
movie to Taxi Driver.
It would have been boring, man, because Blade Runner was kind of boring. Sorry.
Yeah,
Harrison Ford is
I
Batman.
agree with
would
you
have
there,
been
unreally.
Harrison Ford as Batman, though, that would have been something.
Charles Bronson is Fury. Whatever happened to Charles Bronson? Did he die?
Died.
That's why I haven't seen him lately.
All right.
Okay, you're on deck, or you're up to bat. Not on deck.
Okay. This is a big one. Okay, so I'm just gonna shoot this one out. I would say outfits, but everybody. The villains. They've missed on a lot of the villains. Okay, I'm not talking about Thor villains because what are you gonna do? I'm talking about Red Skull. They missed out on that. Let's get to the Skrulls. Okay, they bring them in as a comedy duo. It's like they're the kids in the hall or something. It's Monty Python as the Skrulls. They're joking around, Abbott and Costello, and I'm sure the secret invasion that's coming is going to make them into something. But I just the mystique is gone. It's already gone for me. You're going to have to do a lot to dust them off and be like, okay, here you go. And also, Ultron, man. As much as I like the idea of Ultron, they played it. I don't know. A hot take on this. I didn't really like the Whedon movies. I didn't like Avengers or Age of Ultron too much. Ooh, and I think he was a big part of and I'm not jumping on the hate Josh Whedon bandwagon. I hated him for a long time, but I think
Ultron. That's what I didn't understand, right?
Probably.
Yeah, I've rewatched Age of Ultron recently, and it's a bad movie. But it's a bad movie. But there's so much. Again, there's so much that's introduced in that movie that they spread through everything else. That if you don't watch it and remember it, you're going to be missing out on some stuff.
The only thing you need to really watch Age of Ultron is for, it is bad. And
like
and
you
it
keep
was
telling me Vision comes in that movie. It's created in that movie.
Yep.
Vision, Scarlet Witch, and Quicksilver are in that movie.
I'd totally forgotten like how much of a badass Scarlet Witch was in that movie.
Yeah, it's because of her outfit. You don't. Her outfit sucks.
She kind of came out and hulked out a little bit at the end.
Like this was my other one. This is kind of a piggyback on this one. Is outfits. I think they dropped the ball on a lot of the outfits, but. Let's just say the villains are weak sauce. They don't bring them back. They don't have. I mean, Whiplash was bad. The Mandarin was bad. They're gonna redo him. I couldn't even tell you an Ant-Man villain. And they kill him, or they keep like Loki is the only villain that and Thanos, or whatever you want. He's the only villain that they kind of come back with.
Who was the Ant-Man villain?
Yellow Jacket, which that's complicated too.
Which is stupid, which they should have just had saved the yellow. I would have saved the Yellow Jacket thing for maybe the sequel and then having an alternate dimension Hank Pym. So you could have de-aged Michael Douglas again and have him like, oh my God, what are you doing? Well, I'm a bad guy in this alternate reality thing. That would have been cool, but hey, what's wasted on some chump that just stole your tech? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway. That was my weak sauce number 2, but go ahead.
Biggie, to answer that question, we'd have to do a whole show, and that'd be a great show to do with Gore Vidal, because I know he's got some great opinions on all things indie comics.
I can tell you right now, current indie comics are way better than the 90s ones.
Because you haven't read the 90s ones?
Well, yeah, that too.
We got me some Pedro Pascal here going on.
Francis Ford Coppola made the Avengers Thanos films with the vision and liberty to make an Apocalypse Now. It would have been a longer, slower movie.
And it never would have finished. You can't bring out Coppola anymore, man. After what has he made good since Godfather 2? what was it like? Anyway, sorry.
Right.
It's too much of a mess. I probably blame Brando and Martin Sheen having a heart attack on the.
So what? My number one Marvel miss is the casting of Captain America. I can't stand Chris Evans as Captain America.
I thought mine was gonna be bad. Oh man! Listen, you crazy pal? You nuts?
I'm
can't say-
watching him in every movie. And I still don't buy it.
Oh
like,
my goodness! Are you kidding me?
I'm not
You
jumping
just
in battle
hating
with that
on
guy.
Oh man, you.
He,
I don't know if we
he's-
can be friends anymore.
I can
We
see
can't
him
be friends.
laughing behind his face with every line he drops. Where I can't take him seriously. Don't ask me to cast it. Like who would be my guy? I don't know. I haven't, but it ain't Chris Evans.
Are you on the spectrum of something? Are you on a chart somewhere? You crazy. Dude, listen. Maybe the first movie I was kind of like, meh. But when he I don't know, man. He took Cap to a different level. He made him real on the screen to me. I felt when especially in the Avengers, when he was like jumping out and there's like he only praised the one God or something, whatever he said. That was like, this dude's Captain America. This dude, he's real. When he jumped on that grenade, that dude, get out of my face with that stuff, man. You crazy. You just looking to wreck shit up. Excuse my language. You're just looking to push the boundaries. That's what it is. You're trying to take the heat off of mine. I should have went first.
The Winter Soldier was one of my least favorite movies.
Oh my god! You should have went last, Jamie, because this is breaking me.
I mean, there were 20 movies. Say your least favorite doesn't really say much.
Oh my god, man!
I as a whole, I really don't like Captain America: First Avenger. So, but one of my favorite movies of the whole series is Civil War. So it's not like I'm dissing Captain America across the board. I do like one of his movies, but the other two.
Yeah.
Someone
This
farted.
is why we do this on YouTube, Viggy, so that we don't get in fist fights.
I'm gonna come over there and fight
got
you
your
right
back.
now. I don't care,
This
man.
COVID got me itching for some action.
No, I can get behind Robert Downey Jr. I mean, he carried the entire series this far.
Thank you, Terrence Howard.
I have another. I can't. I'm
I mean,
speechless.
Robert Downey Jr. did something that was interesting.
Hey, don't be
In that-
trying to cover up your turd you just let, man. That's
Look,
what you're doing. You're trying to go, well, like Robert Downey Jr. No, don't be doing that. You done
Iron Man
on the plate.
Iron Man in the comic books had no personality whatsoever.
That's
There was
right.
nothing
I
to him.
said
He
that.
was flat. He could have been. You could swap Tony Stark in for any other character. Robert Downey Jr. comes in and gives him life, gives him personality, to make him, one of the more appealing.
He's a Playboy billionaire.
Ooh, dude, you getting crispified there, man. Oh, man. Your boys are turning on you. Oh, yeah, pick that one. Yeah, he's playing. He's crazy. This dude needs a therapist, man. Man. That dude, to me, without Evans, you're going to have some. I don't know what you're watching. You're watching a whole different movie to me. Evans is the dude in that. Except, the only time I didn't like Evans was in Infinity Gauntlet, or the first one before Endgame, because he was just like, I'm just here. Fill me up.
You know who they should hire Chris Evans to play? Johnny Storm. He'd make the perfect Johnny Storm.
No, he didn't.
I
Man,
mean, Michael B. Jordan's character.
you might want to get Vic. You go now, Vic. Let's just get this bad taste out of our mouth.
I mean, mine's pretty much mundane and pretty much the same thing everybody in the world agrees
I'm
with.
glad it's number one. I'm glad it's your number one complaint.
What was the
I don't
point?
like eggs. What?
What was the point of Captain Marvel?
Mm.
I mean, her
Female
powers supposed to be all big
representation.
and powerful, but she didn't really do nothing.
Yeah,
And
she's OP.
then they should have cast Adrian Palicki instead of what's her face to be Captain Marvel. So
Who's Adrian Palicki?
she was in Friday Night Lights, The Orville.
There you go. There you go. I answered your question. Who's
What?
Adrian Palicki?
Yeah,
Brie Larson was just won an Academy Award and was doing all this other
what's
stuff.
the Academy Award got to do with
Yeah, but she was cast before she won the Academy Award, though.
I don't care, but still, she had a buzz. Adrian Palicki was on a TV show in the 90s, man.
the
She's all
90s?
her crutches right now. She's got a
Nothing
walker.
in the
She's
90s?
trying to get down the street.
I'm just saying. I just hated Captain Marvel. I thought
Yeah,
it
it
was
was bad.
pointless.
It was basic. It was just like, I don't care. And then they try. That's the one thing. It's a failure, and but it still made a lot of money, which I don't care about. But
I still don't know how
it
it did
was
that.
exploitation. It was nerd exploit. It was grunge 90s exploitation. Hey, you remember Nirvana? You're gonna love this. Hey, remember Blockbuster? We're gonna love. No, I didn't like Blockbuster because they had charged you too much when you kept their movies for too long. Get those fuckers. Yeah. Brie Larson's more likable if you listen to her on podcasts and stuff. That's the thing. I think she doesn't know. She could do it if they. This is my whammy here. This is to take that. First Thor, bland as hell. I didn't like Chris Hemsworth, okay? He looked the part. He was Dolph Lundgren for He-Man. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, but you're boring, you're basic, okay? Same with Captain Marvel. So I'm hoping, because I started to like Hemsworth as it went along, and now he's got his stuff. All right. Same with Brie Larson. Maybe if you watch her outside of that, and maybe if they give her more stuff, she won't be so tiresome and bland and robotic in her stuff. So
That's my problem with the casting for that role, is that I have watched other Brie Larson films and she's stale.
yeah. So there you go. Now this is funny because
Brie Larson and Chris Evans, the worst casting in the Marvel Cinematic
oh my
Universe.
God, I want to change my third. I want to change my first. Mine's weaker compared to yours. Man, I cannot believe you. Really, I think the Marvel misses is that they let number one is they let Jamie Hood watch their movies because he don't I don't know. Are you a big Captain America fan at all? Anyways, probably not.
I respect the character. I haven't always bought him. So there have been times, just like Spider-Man, where I've collected runs and
Well, I'll tell you what.
stuff like
I was
that.
a huge Cap fan. He was probably one of the first superheroes that I continually bought. It was because of that Mark Grunwald run. It was Cap No More. I was picking them up. Boom, boom, boom. I loved it. And that's why I'm liking the new. I like the new Captain America Winter Soldier show. Okay, spoiler. And I sign off on Evans, man. At first, I was like, no, they should get this dude. They should get some of this dude. Evans pulled it off. He did the earnest stuff, and I believed him when he was like, I can do this all day. It was perfect. It's perfect. You don't understand it now, but one day you will like Mustard. You might not like Mustard now, but one day he got over the Superman hurdle. Not since Christopher Reeve has they had a good, on film, even though I like Henry Cavill, all right, they never got over that, like, I'm Superman, I gotta be,
Mm-hmm.
It's I'm sorry, I like Evans. Let's get the mine so we can get off TV.
You said you had the biggest one, so let's
I don't have the biggest. I got the biggest one, but I don't have the shocker one. Okay. I think you got the biggest everything because you have enough guts to come out here and say that Chris Evans is a ham bone sucking dog.
So should I have said that Chadwick Boseman was a horrible Black Panther?
Oh man,
that would have
killed everybody. Okay.
Not a Falcon fan.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So mine, I kind of feel deflated now. My saying is my opinion, the biggest flop, or not flop, but the biggest mess Marvel had, the casting and the placement of Hawkeye. Okay. This is a real, okay. Jeremy Renner, he's got the personality of a dead snake. Okay, he's a franchise killer. He's been in what? He took over the Bourne thing. They had to bring back Bourne. He took over Mission Impossible. They were like, nah, not so much. They missed the bullet. They missed the shot, the arrow with Hawkeye. Because I'll tell you what, take out Whiplash from Iron Man 2. Justin Hammer, he's got a dirty dealing Hawkeye who's a bad guy. And Black Widow, who you don't know she's on the side of. She's a double agent, okay? Hawkeye stealing Tony Stark's stuff to give it to Justin Hammer, and then you can have a bunch of jacked up goons for that. It would have been perfect. And then at the end, you have, okay, Nick Fury go, hey, Hawkeye, you're pretty good. We want to use you on our team. And then he's like, for the rest of the thing, it's like, we don't know if Hawkeye's going to turn or if he's good or bad. Like a Loki. They pretty much. But here's the thing. Get someone different. You could have got Sam Rockwell. Imagine Sam Rockwell not being Justin Hammer and not being wasted of a one-shot character. You imagine him as Hawkeye and his back and forth with Tony Stark. That would have been beautiful. That would have been epic. Or dare I say, we wouldn't have got Deadpool, but maybe a Ryan Reynolds. But he wouldn't like that because he don't like ScarJo anyway. So what I'm saying is
cheated.
The biggest miss, in my opinion, my unhumble opinion, was Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner, dirt. It was bland. It was bland, just like Captain Marvel, and not like Captain America, Chris Evans, because that was probably the best choice they went with. But that's my hot take. It's not as popular. It's not as crazy as the Chris Evans explosion you just dropped on the internet. But Jeremy Renner, sorry, pal. Yeah, exactly. Sam Rockwell would have been a great. And here's another problem I had is that Tony Stark, even though I love what they did with it, he is basically took all of Hawkeye's junk. The comic book Hawkeye was Iron Man, right? The way Tony Stark acts, because Tony Stark in the comic book is like, I'm Tony Stark. Let's go have sex. Okay. Oh, blah, blah. He was a robot. He was more of a robot than Iron Man.
You reminded me of, at the time, who I thought should be cast as Captain America.
Sam Rockwell.
Jeremy Renner.
That's your problem. That's your problem, right? You just shot your whole defense.
Let's go back 10 years to when
I'm Jeremy Renner.
The Hurt Locker won the Academy Award, starring Jeremy Renner. And I was like, this guy's got some gravitas. He's got some acting chops.
See, you want a different movie altogether. You don't want a movie serial. You don't want an Indiana Jones. You want freaking like, I'm good. My buddy died. Oh, God. War is hell. That's what you want. You wanted that Captain America?
No, I wanted somebody that I could like look at him and like, yeah, I'll go into battle with you.
Oh, sounds like you want it for something else too. Anyway, I go into battle with you. Hey, Jeremy Renner. There's a million people that could have been Cap better than Jeremy Renner. That's an alternate reality I never want to visit. Oh my God, I think I would like immediately jump into a turbine engine if I went somewhere and Jeremy Renner was Captain America.
You at least got two more Hemsworth brothers that you can go with.
So there's only one Hemsworth. The other one can't.
The guy doing the voice for a Rocket.
Oh, Cooper.
Yeah,
Cooper.
Bradley Cooper.
Man,
visually, you know who
he would have been a better Hawkeye.
You know who Bradley Cooper should play in one of these movies?
Bradley Cooper,
Mephisto.
Mm.
You could see him. I mean,
I'd rather have Al Pacino.
he's got the actor chops.
Give me an Al Pacino Mephisto. Man, you done blew up your stuff, man. I can't believe it. I think people like, no offense, man, but I don't know if I can take your opinion on other movies now. Like you just like drop like, well, I think this movie is good.
When
I'm not gonna
has
watch
my
that because
opinion
it's
on
like
anything affected your opinion?
it affected my opinion. It did. I'm just like, damn, man, is Jamie crazy? Jamie's crazy, man. Jamie, I don't know, man. Like all those years that he was like, hey, you should look this. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll look at that. Now it's just, oh my goodness. It makes me think. That's like when they find out just some weird stuff. Like they find some beloved guy that dies and they go in his basement and there's like a torture chamber and little dogs and animals. And I'm like, what happened here? What is this?
No, we're in the basement. He's seen them. There's nothing like that down here.
What?
I don't have a woman in a pit or anything in this basement, right?
Oh no.
Okay.
You got some weird comic
Jamie
book
just turned heel, man. Jamie just turned heel on the world. I want to make you a I hate Chris Evans shirt. That's your new. You can't. Oh my god! I can't.
I would wear that.
This is like
you make that shirt. Something about Chris Evans shouldn't be Captain America. I'll wear that to a convention.
Oh, I bet. Oh, what you would, man? You sucking.
That's a documentary right there,
dude. I feel like Inhumans. Yeah, I feel like the end of Revenge of the Sith when Obi-Wan's like, "What? You were the best of us. You were the chosen one, Jamie. You were supposed to." Oh my god! Oh my god! Unbelievable. You turned Darth Vader on me, man. Darth Hood, man. Darth Hood. Oh my gosh. You know, I'm gonna get you my Darth Vader helmet so you can wear this, the Nazis cap. Oh my goodness, Jamie. I don't know, man. Ooh, that took it out of me. Yeah, you're Rogue Hood. All right. You just from now on just hate on everything. Okay.
I wouldn't stand in the line for any autograph. Well, I'd stand in line for a creator's autograph, but not an actor.
You just need to be opposite.
The only actor I considered standing in line for was
ScarJo.
No, Adam West, and I regret not doing it.
Yeah,
I'd stand in line from Harrison Ford too.
Great theme song.
I give you the championship. You got the title today, Hood. Rogue Hood, man. Woo! Hot take. Take that.
They start throwing food at me. I don't have to spend all that money on food. I can just buy more comics.
Hopefully it's churros.
Man, I'm hurt. I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll wrap this one up.
You know what? I feel like Mike Myers standing next to Kanye West when he busted out on Bush that one time. It's like Bush doesn't care about black people.
Doesn't care about black people.
What is going on here? I want to redub that. I want to redub it where Kanye West is like, yeah, I don't like Chris Evans as Captain America, and he's just looking at him like, what the fuck is it? Oh. Like, what is this about? You had to blurt that.
That's it.
Yeah, he did. Because you know why? Because he's got 4 of them. He's got 4 of those babies, and he's not giving them up. Oh, take this! Rogue Hood in the house. That's a shirt. Rogue Hood. That's a shirt, man. You dirty, man. You need to go wash it up, man. I can't believe that you even brought that to the show, man. That's dangerous. I'm very free to lie.
Check out Al's Pop Shop on Etsy and keep an eye out for that. Chris Evans makes a terrible Captain America T-shirt.
Real good.
T-Public, he means.
Yeah, Rogue Hood.
Yeah,
T-Public.
T-Public.
Oh man, Rogue Hood all the way. Rogue Hood for president. I don't know what happened. I became the face and you're the heel now. I don't get it. Wow.
That's how I roll. I'm a mastermind, criminal mastermind. You don't know the gears that are rolling.
I know, man. He's a dangerous dude. Someone must have lit a match, and you're like, liar, man. No. Oh my goodness. I'm spent. We better get out of here before you say some other crazy stuff.
Gorbally, he's right there with me.
Oh man.
All right. Well, we'll roll out of here. Thanks for hanging in there with us this morning, guys. We still got Biggie Shack, New World Order Comics. Check him out. He's got some regular content. Gore Vidal talks about some of the greatest comics you probably not heard of, but should be reading. Unruly Simeon, one of the stalwarts of the YouTube comic book community. Discovery Bay Comics is still here, man. Thanks for coming and hanging out, guys. Craig69. We will wrap this show up. A couple last
Chris Evans for life.
comments here. Glad we could entertain you for a while this morning, Discovery Bay.
Were you entertained? Oh no. Did you have fun? There you go.
You know, we had a good time.
Team Evans.
That's Disco's outro. But our outro is keep your priorities straight. Faith, family, comic books. See you next time, guys.
Team Evans.